What a Monday night in the NBA. We had 9 games, and we also had 4 crazy comebacks on the same night of basketball. We start our night in Sacramento where new coach, new vibes, new energy, and the return of the Beam Team. Sacramento coming in without De'Aaron Fox, winners of 4 in a row and looking different. Malik Monk's been an instrumental part of their recent success, as has this man. Sabonis with the and one, end of the first half, Kings up by 1. No Jimmy Butler, no De'Aaron Fox, but Malik bringing it. Miami's been inconsistent all season, but if there's one thing you can count on with them, it is this man. Tyler Hero with a tough bucket later in the third, Miami up by 7, and their rookie making an impact, Khalil Ware. Fourth quarter, Miami up by 12, and this one looks like it might be over. Jovic steal and slam. Sacramento fell behind by as many as 17, and when shots like this are going against you, it's tough to win. Even down by 17, even without arguably their best player, the Cardiac Kings wake up. Keegan Murray with a mid-range, Kings still down by 5, the hustle of Keon Ellis, the clutch shooting of Keegan. Sacramento down by 2, 55 seconds to go, and a foul is called on this rebound. Sabonis would make both free throws, final chance for Miami, Hero no good, and we head to overtime. Sacramento down by 4, needing yet another crazy comeback. Malik Monk with the and one, still down by 2, and Domantas Sabonis for 3. But Miami would take a late lead back, and Jaquez misses a chance to ice the game. Kings down by 1 after Jaquez misses a pair of free throws, and they foul Keon Ellis. This game was freaking nuts at the end. Keon misses the first but makes the second. So now we head to double overtime, and in double overtime, the Kings needed a hero, and they found one. DeMar with the jumper, now DeMar doing what DeMar does best. Shot clock winding down, Kings needing a big bucket, and they go to their OG. Game still not over though, 15 seconds to go, DeMar sending Miami packing. I'm not ready to say they've turned the corner yet, but this Doug Christie experience has been much more fun to watch than the Mike Brown experience. Congrats to the Kings. A thrilling finish there. How about a thrilling finish in Minnesota between the Clippers and the Wolves, and Kawhi in his second game? Kawhi starting it with a 3 later in the first, Clippers off to a good start. Harden probing the paint, finding his shooter. Kawhi over Edwards, and another one. Second quarter now, Clippers doing a great job, up by 11, and that second unit adding to it. Norman Powell, tough shot. I mean, this first half had me thinking crazy thoughts about this Clippers team. Zubac's the block on Ant-Man. They're already up by 16, and Derrick Jones Jr. putting them up 19. Minnesota's been struggling mightily lately, so how do they respond to this challenge tonight? Edwards with a 3, now they're playing some defense. Edwards the other way. Back out to Naz Reid, no good, but Rudy the putback slam. Third quarter and more from Minnesota. Randall picking up the loose ball and he's gone. Now the building's on its feet. Up by 3, Edwards to Dante's Inferno. What a turnaround from down 19 to up by 7, more from Ant-Man. Fourth quarter though, Clippers defense buckling down and bringing them back. A takeaway on one end, on the other, Norman Powell the pump fake, and the 3, it's down to 1. Minnesota down by 2, 3 minutes to go, Edwards the steal, and then Edwards stopping on a dime and giving them the lead. Wolves down by 1, a minute 18 to go, it's that man again. What a show by Anthony Edwards. He's hit a few, but the Wolves are still only up by 2. Edwards to take them home, the step back again. One of those games in one of those fourth quarters where if you're the Clippers, all you can really do is just shake that man's hand, say good job, and get ready for the next game, because Ant-Man was ridiculous late. Next up, we have the Spurs and the Bulls from Chicago, Victor Wembanyama in the Windy City. Wemby starting it with a massive block on Vooch later in the first. Vooch didn't learn his lesson the first time. Spurs up by 10 early, and now check this out from the rookie. Windmill from Stephon Castle. 3 of 51, back at it in the second quarter. Castle up top to Wemby. In the first half, Spurs up by 8. This one felt like it was all San Antonio. Wemby again, pump fake, tough 3. Third quarter, Spurs up 16. Doesn't feel like the Bulls' night. Wemby again, step back triple. Bulls still hovering around though. Remember, they won their last game on Derrick Rose night against the Knicks. And now here comes Zach LaVine, cutting it to 7. Lead down to 6, 7 minutes to go. You saw what Coby White did against the Knicks the other night. Step back 3. Madness in the Windy City. Bulls down by 4, 2:40 to go. LaVine can get hot with the best of them. And then this, down by 150 seconds to go. Maybe the sequence of the season for the Chicago Bulls. Coby White scooping it around Wemby, and then Coby White throwing it down over Wemby. What a play, what a win. And my player of the night, Zach LaVine, 35, 10, and 8. What a marvelous season he's had that's gone so under the radar. If the Spurs want to make the playoffs, games like this are going to be the ones that haunt them at the end of the season. 23, 14, and 8 blocks, but they blow a 19-point lead. Suns and Sixers tonight from Philadelphia. No Joel Embiid. The Suns trying to avoid a disaster once again. They're not off to a good start either. Down by 8, Nurkic, a turnover, Paul George the steal, and a slam. Down by 4 now, late in the second quarter. They really need to win this game. Durant with the slam now in the third quarter. More from KD bringing them back. Remember, Phoenix changed their lineup heading into this game. And at least for one night, it seemed to make all the difference in the world. 6-man Bradley Beal actually has a nice ring to it. Beal with the corner 3. Now Beal, step back, another one. Phoenix with a huge road win. They win by 10. And Bradley Beal off the bench, 25 and 5. A great night for him in his new role. Staying in the West tonight in Memphis. No Luka, no Kyrie, no Ja Morant, no Desmond Bane. Both teams coming in fighting for the top of the Western Conference, and both teams super banged up. Dallas off to a great start in this one. Despite all the injuries, we know both of these teams have a lot of depth. There's PJ Washington with the putback. Second quarter, Dallas up by 10. Daniel Gafford working inside with an and one, but he would have to leave the game with an injury. Dallas had a big early lead. Memphis has tied it at this point, and they take their first lead of the game. Jay Huff with the layup there, but the story of this game once again for Memphis, Jaren Jackson Jr. Everybody knows where he's going. He wants to get to that left hand. It's one thing to know what's coming. It's another thing to be able to stop it. Jaren feeling it all game long, getting the friendly bounce. Grizzlies now up by 10. The Mavericks with no answers for Triple J. He should be an all-star for the Grizz this season. Memphis beats Dallas by 15, and I'm not saying the Grizzlies are only going to get one all-star, but if they only get one, in my opinion, it should be Triple J. He's been more available all season, and he's been great. 35, 13, and 5 tonight. Next up, Magic and the Knicks tonight from Madison Square Garden. Magic, no Jalen Suggs. Who steps up? End of the first quarter, you could ask the same question for the Knicks tonight because they're without Karl Anthony Towns. Who steps up for them? Jalen Brunson with a tough and one at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, how about Wendell Carter Jr.? There's one thing we know about Orlando, though. Rain or shine, sun or snow, they're going to play defense every night. Jet Howard with a bucket. Jet Howard with another tough bucket at the end of the half. Magic up by 5, a minute to go in the third quarter, and I have so much respect for these Magic. Wendell Carter. Fourth quarter, they do it by committee. They do it no matter who's a part of that committee. No Jalen Suggs, no Paolo Banchero, no Franz Wagner, no Mo Wagner. No problem. Wendell Carter with 19 to lead the way. Milwaukee and Toronto tonight in Toronto. The Bucks just lost to the Nets and the Blazers. Scotty Barnes starting it off with a windmill dunk, but that was about the only highlight of the night for Toronto. This was the definition of a no-nonsense business trip type of night for Milwaukee. Bucks up by 10 midway through the second. Splash Mountain transition triple. A minute later, Giannis finding Splash Mountain again. Third quarter, more from Giannis, more from Dame. This one was basically over at this point. 4-point play for Lillard. Bucks win 128-104. That's what we call a business trip. Dame with 25 and 5. Giannis, a modest triple-double, 11, 12, 13. In Detroit today, the Pistons win by 3. Cade, another all-star type performance. They might be the best story in the league. They've won 4 in a row, 7 of their last 8. They're at 500 now, and I made a full recap just about them in a separate video if you want to check it out. Last but not least, Pacers in Brooklyn today. The Nets so banged up. No D'Lo, no Cam Johnson, no Cam Thomas, and also no chance tonight against Indiana. The Pacers, by the way, have now won 3 in a row. They're starting to find their chemistry on and off the floor. They look like a much different team than earlier in this season. And some news to cover before we get out of here. Kyrie out 1 to 2 weeks with a bulging disc. Mavericks play the Lakers tomorrow. Also had this from Willie Green this morning. Zion participated in 5-on-5 practice. He has a chance to play. And then our players of the week, Nikola Jokic in the West and Jason Tatum in the East.